as the first golden rays of dawn spread across the endless African savanna. A tiny spotted hyena cub named Shira entered a world where every day would become a battle for survival. Inside a rugged rocky den hidden among the dry grasslands, newborn Shira took her first fragile breaths while warm sunlight slowly reached the entrance of her shelter. Tiny paws twitched against the dusty stone floor as weak squeaks echoed softly through the den, announcing the arrival of a new survivor. The loving mother gently nuzzled her newborn cub while little Shira struggled to lift her head beneath the warm glow of the African morning. Slowly crawling toward the comfort of her mother's body, Shira searched instinctively for warmth and protection inside the rocky refuge. For the very first time, innocent dark eyes opened and gazed into the mysterious world waiting beyond the safety of the den. The mother carefully groomed the tiny cub, preparing young Shira for the harsh realities of life across the unforgiving savanna. Safe beside her mother, newborn Shira drank nourishing milk while dust danced through beams of sunlight entering the den. Days passed beneath the African sun and the fragile cub slowly transformed into a playful youngster eager to explore the world. Young Shira stumbled clumsily across rocks, chased insects, chewed her first piece of meat, and discovered the excitement hidden within every corner of the savanna. Curious and fearless, the growing cub raced happily around her mother while golden grass swayed endlessly beneath the bright blue sky. But hidden beyond the tall yellow grass, danger was already watching every movement of vulnerable young Shira. A hungry black-backed jackal emerged silently from the brush while cold predator eyes locked directly onto the unsuspecting cub. Unaware of the approaching threat, playful Shira continued exploring while the predator crept closer through the grass. Suddenly, the jackal exploded from the shadows and charged directly toward terrified little Shira. Panic surged through the cub as she scrambled backward and became trapped beside a massive boulder with nowhere left to run. At the final possible moment, Shira's fearless mother burst into the scene and positioned herself directly between her cub and the attacker. A thunderous roar echoed across the savanna as the furious mother charged forward and drove the jackal away from young Shira. Dust filled the air while the defeated predator retreated into the grasslands, leaving frightened little Shira safely beside her mother. Comforted once again, the cub pressed against her mother's neck and learned her first lesson about survival in the wild. Seasons passed across the African plains, and young Shira gradually transformed into a stronger and more confident juvenile hyena. She practiced stalking birds, chased guinea fowl across the grasslands, and developed the speed and strength needed to survive. At watering holes, Shira learned caution when a crocodile snapped suddenly from the water, teaching another valuable lesson about hidden danger. The young hyena grew stronger each day while exploring vast stretches of savanna beneath endless African skies. deadly predator watched silently from above as She-Ra wandered beneath an ancient acacia tree. High among the branches, a powerful leopard focused entirely on the growing hyena below. Without warning, the predator launched downward like a bolt of lightning and slammed heavily into young She-Ra. Dust and fur exploded across the ground as the desperate hyena fought fiercely against the larger predator. Refusing to surrender, She-Ra kicked violently, twisted free from crushing claws, and scratched the leopard's face to create a brief chance for escape. Hearing the struggle, her mother rushed into battle and collided powerfully with the attacking leopard. Standing side by side, mother and daughter confronted the predator together while growls echoed through the savannah. Outnumbered and wounded, the leopard finally abandoned the hunt and disappeared back into the branches above. Victorious and stronger than before, She-Ra lifted her head proudly toward the wind while confidence replaced fear. Months turned into years, and the frightened cub once hiding inside a rocky den became a magnificent adult spotted hyena. Powerful muscles rippled beneath her spotted coat as adult She-Ra confidently led patrols across her vast territory. Battle scars marked her face, each one telling the story of survival, resilience, and hard-earned experience. Yet the greatest challenge of her life still waited somewhere beyond the tall grass. One scorching afternoon, a massive male lion stepped directly into She-Ra's path and unleashed a roar powerful enough to shake the plains. Unlike the helpless cub she once was, adult She-Ra refused to retreat and faced the giant predator head-on. The lion charged with explosive force while She-Ra sprinted across the savannah in a desperate high-speed chase. Despite her speed, the powerful lion eventually caught up and pinned She-Ra beneath a massive paw. The predator lowered enormous jaws toward her, but She-Ra snarled fiercely and refused to accept defeat. Then, just as hope seemed lost, the hyena clan arrived like an army racing across the plains. Together with her mother and clan, She-Ra surrounded the lion and launched a coordinated counterattack from every direction. Dodging powerful swipes, She-Ra struck with crushing bites while the rest of the clan overwhelmed the isolated predator. Outmatched and exhausted, the mighty lion finally retreated into the dust while victorious hyenas stood their ground. Breathing heavily beneath the fading sunset, adult She-Ra watched the defeated predator disappear beyond the horizon. The entire clan raised triumphant calls into the evening sky while golden light illuminated their fearless leader. Standing proudly upon a giant rock overlooking her territory, She-Ra gazed across the endless African savanna that had tested her since birth. No longer the tiny cub trembling inside a rocky den, She-Ra had become a legendary survivor, a fearless leader, and a symbol of courage forged through every battle the wild could unleash.